Hey y'all, this is Laura with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters, and I am gonna look at this 1940 Corona Standard. This is flat top and black gloss. We're gonna take a quick look at it, and then I'm gonna do a tutorial on it. But I want to, I just did a tutorial on a silent. In fact, let me go grab that so you can kind of see the two together. So, okay, I have the two here. This is the silent, so you can see that. This is the standard. Exact same body style. Obviously one is in the matte black and the other is in not a matte black. This is the gloss black and the other is in the matte brown. They both have rounded keys, but they are slightly different. And one of the main differences that I found when I was typing on them was the silent, the keys were a little bit closer together and a little bit more manageable for my petite hands. Just a little bit, but enough to make a difference. This one, still, the performance was amazing. And it's still great for active writers and fast typists, and petite hands can manage the Smith Corona Standard, but it's easier for petite hands on the Smith Corona Silent, if that makes sense. If you are someone who types often, you will know what that means. So, but this one, the reason I'm doing a video on this one is actually in pristine condition. The decals are amazing. The finish is like perfect. Even the case was really excellent on this, and the performance is spot on. So I wanted to do a tutorial on this. This is a this is the standard. So this is a 1C series, and that brown one you saw is a 1S series, and they're both excellent typewriters, but they definitely have different personalities and are maybe better suited to different people. This one definitely has a more pensive feel to it, definitely much more like a much more focused feel. When I touch it, when I'm around it, I just want to sit down and really dive deep. The other one is also is a workhorse, but much more I don't know how to describe it. A much more lighthearted, but it flowed well. This one takes much more mental energy. I would say that probably because of my petite hands, and when I type on it, I have to be much more conscious of where my fingers are and how I'm doing, because it's easy for them to slip off. Whereas the silent, I didn't even have to think about that. So that little difference can make a really big difference depending on what kind of a writer you are and what you're using your typewriter for. Okay, so now we're just going to go into a tutorial on this. So if you've got a Smith Corona Standard and you want to follow along, get out your typewriter and let's get started. So first of all, we're going to flip over that back plate. Here is your margin settings. You just press and drag, flip that back plate back up. We're going to load some paper, and I do recommend using a backing paper or at least multiple sheets. Protects your platen or your roller, what you want to call it. We have these backing sheets on our website. I designed them, and they have nice little guidelines on them. So we're just going to load and come in here, and let's see. I'm going to move my margin in just a hair, and I'll move this out just a hair. Okay, so you can hear the bell on this one. That's a nice strong bell, and technically this one will have will be just a little bit louder in performance versus the silent will have a more muted sound. Okay, so once we've got that loaded, you have your carriage release, the two little levers right behind the roller handles, and you can just pull one or both one in, and that'll move your carriage back and forth. It should pull to the left. That means your drawband is working. To adjust your paper, you have your paper release lever right here. Just pull that forward. You can move your paper around if it's wonky or anything, and make sure you re-engage it. These are like your paper bales if you want to use them. I usually pull them out of the way, but some people like to use them and they go right there. Over here, this is your return handle, and you just hit that return handle, and that's why I don't like to use them, because it just bumps right into it. And so right now it's set on a single line. It advances one line. But right here, this little knob, cute little knob, now it's on double. So I have it set to double, but I'll just put it back there, and now it's on single. We're going to come back to the top, and I don't see what I'm looking for. Okay. I am going to move the carriage all the way to the left, and the reason is I want to open this top, but I don't want to scratch it because it's got a beautiful finish, and this handle needs to be out of the way. So I'm going to move that over to the left, and then we're going to flip this top open. Inside you'll see the escapement. This is the typing basket and the vibrator. This is where your spools go. You should have your original spools. They would be metal. If you don't, you can use a universal ribbon, and our website does carry universal ribbons. If you've got your original spools, but you need fresh ribbon, just send us one of your spools. We have a custom ribbon option on our website. Send that to us. We'll roll it with fresh ribbon and send it back to you. Now, when you are loading it into your typewriter, you just pull it out and drop it in. They just pull out and drop in very easily. Like I say in all my videos, I don't like to pull them out because I make a mess, and this is messy. I'll just be honest with you. But when you are changing it out, make sure that you thread the ribbon. The ribbon is going to come from underneath, around the back, over the top, through this guide wire, through the vibrator, back over through this guide wire, again over the top, back underneath, and that's the direction it should flow, the ribbon. Black is on top, red is on bottom. Now when you get to the end of the spool of ribbon, it's not the end of the ink. You just reverse the direction multiple times until you use up all the ink, and you reverse the direction with this lever right here. Okay, and now I'm going to lift this up so you can see how it's threaded through the vibrator, because that can be tricky. And the best thing that I know, because it's very difficult to try to video how to change a ribbon because your hands are in the way and you can't see it. So I'm just going to lift this up so you can kind of see how Rob has got that threaded through the vibrator. You know, pause, take a screenshot, whatever you need to do to kind of help you get that threaded through the vibrator. I hope that is helpful, because we have found the videos have not been helpful to people. So, okay, over here is your tension selector. And that, what that does is it adjusts the tension of how hard your type bars strike your paper. And the purpose of the vibrator is your vibrator lifts up as the bar strikes the paper, and so that ribbon comes between the bar and the paper and imprints that letter. And if the vibrator is not working, and for example you're typing and nothing's being imprinted, check two things. One, reverse the direction of your ribbon, which is right here, because you may be at the end of your ribbon and there's no ink left in that one spot. Two, check your color selector, and it might have been bumped, because this happens more than you realize, and is on the white setting. And the white setting is a stencil setting, and what that does is it deactivates your vibrator. So now your type bar is just striking the paper, it's not striking the inked ribbon. So make sure it's firmly on black or red, and that should correct most of your issues at first. So always try those two things before you panic. Okay, so like I said, that adjusts the tension of your typing bars. Okay, go ahead and close this. And when you close this, this is so important, make sure you snap it all the way down so that your handle doesn't scratch the top, because the clearance between this and your handle is very minute. All right, so down here, we've already talked about on the left side, this is your ribbon direction, your ribbon selector reversal. And over here is your color selector. So right now it's on black, There's the white, which is the stencil, and it's not going to imprint anything. And here's the red. So there's your color selector. Right here is your backspace. Backspace does not erase, it just, you will make mistakes as part of typewriting, and you can X through it or line through it or dot through it or whatever and type over it. However you want to deal with your mistakes is totally up to you and totally okay. Over here is your shift. You've got your shift lock, and then to release your shift. And then one final thing is we have our margin release. So let's type a little bit so we can test out the margin release. So let me see where I have it set. Okay. So I should hit the return handle right now, but I'm going to keep going. Oh, now it's stopped. It's not going to let me do anything. So margin release. There we go. And I can go to the next line once I finish my word or my thought. I hope you found this helpful. Please visit our website for accessories, see what's new in vintage typewriters, or if you have anything you need, you can certainly contact us. If you type a comment on YouTube, please know that it takes me about a month to respond. That's just the way my time goes. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.